Immigration, it's either Europe's economic savior or its biggest headache. But what if the truth isn't so black and white? Does immigration boost the economy or strain Europe's social fabric? And how exactly is the European Union's newest policy addressing this heated debate? Right now, Europe's in a bit of a bind. Its population is aging rapidly, creating alarming shortages in critical sectors like healthcare, agriculture and technology. Countries like Germany and Italy have started scrambling, offering hundreds of thousands of work visas to attract skilled talent from abroad. Sounds promising, right? But here's where things get tricky. Not everyone in Europe is thrilled about increased immigration. While Spain embraces openness, legalizing nearly 700,000 migrants and seeing economic growth as a reward, countries like Poland and Hungary have thrown up new border fences, literally and figuratively. Meanwhile, the EU itself has introduced its ambitious Migration and Asylum Pact, set to redistribute asylum seekers among member states, whether they like it or not. It's a bold move, but one that's ignited tensions, sparking fiery debates across the continent. So what's really going on beneath these dramatic headlines? Will this new policy balance Europe's hunger for skilled workers against the fears of social fragmentation, or will it deepen divides even further? In this video, we'll dive beyond the surface, exploring real stories, surprising economic data, and yes, plenty of political drama. You'll hear the facts, the myths, and the untold stories of immigration in Europe today. Whether you're watching from Europe or the US, this debate affects you more than you realize. Stay tuned, because we're about to unravel the real impact of Europe's newest immigration policy. And you might just find that the truth is more surprising than you ever imagined. First off, what exactly is this new EU immigration policy all about? Put simply, the Migration and Asylum Pact is Europe's big plan to tackle immigration head-on, but it's got some seriously ambitious and controversial elements. At its core, politics tries to spread responsibility. EU countries now face mandatory solidarity, meaning if a nation refuses asylum seekers, they'll still have to contribute financially. Think of it like splitting the dinner bill. Even if you didn't enjoy the meal, you're still paying something. Why the shake-up? Europe needed fresh solutions. With thousands fleeing conflict or poverty every year, systems were strained. Plus, aging populations across Europe meant shrinking workforces. Countries desperately need fresh talent, and fast. The policy also ramps up border procedures, fast-tracking the asylum process. If an applicant's unlikely to qualify, Europe aims to return them home within weeks. Efficient or overly harsh? Opinions are sharply divided. Let's dive deeper into economic issues. Can immigration really boost Europe's economy? Short answer, absolutely. Take Germany, for example. Their expanded Skilled Immigration Act offers fast-track visas and a Canada-style points system. Why? Because Germany faces massive workforce gaps, especially in healthcare and tech. Italy's in a similar boat, issuing 500,000 work visas to meet demands in agriculture, tourism and technology. In Spain, legalization of migrants actually fueled GDP growth by nearly 3%. Immigration wasn't just beneficial, it became essential to their economy. Yet myths persist that migrants drain resources, but the data says otherwise. Skilled immigration brings entrepreneurship, innovation, and fills critical roles left vacant by Europe's aging workforce. Sure, not every immigrant immediately becomes an economic superstar, but overall, immigrants often inject dynamism, creativity, and much-needed labor into economies desperate for talent. It's Economics 101, more workers, more consumers, more growth. But economics isn't everything. What about social cohesion? Can Europe integrate newcomers smoothly, or are tensions inevitable? Integration is crucial, but it's also Europe's biggest challenge. Successful integration means language classes, employment support, and social acceptance. And let's be honest, that's not always easy. You've probably heard stories of integration efforts gone hilariously or awkwardly wrong. Misunderstandings, cultural clashes, strange encounters at the local market. It's all part of Europe's complex immigration reality. Yet for every awkward interaction, there's a success story. Germany's integration programs have welcomed thousands, easing them into local communities and workplaces. Sweden has long championed integration, investing heavily in programs that help migrants adapt and thrive. Still, challenges persist. Rising nationalism and fears of losing cultural identity mean integration isn't always smooth sailing, but it's worth the effort. Because a well-integrated society isn't just happier, it's stronger, and Europe's future cohesion depends on it. So, has the EU found the magic balance between economic benefits and social cohesion? Early results are mixed. The new policy certainly addresses Europe's labour shortages. Countries like Italy and Germany are already seeing economic upsides. Spain, as we've seen, transformed immigration into a growth engine, but tensions haven't vanished overnight. Poland and Hungary still strongly resist mandatory quotas, feeling the EU is overreaching. Germany's tougher border controls and Poland's intensified checks signal a brewing crisis in Schengen, the symbol of Europe's unity. Balancing solidarity with sovereignty is harder than Brussels imagined. Experts remain divided. Optimists argue it's still early days. Give the policy time. Skeptics warn the tension could fracture EU unity. Ultimately, the policy might require adjustments to ease concerns and unify Europe under shared goals. Clearly, Europe's new immigration policy is ambitious, hopeful and messy. Economically, immigration holds undeniable promise, but socially, Europe still faces major hurdles. It's a delicate balancing act, one the EU must navigate carefully. So, whether you're European, American, or simply a global citizen, remember this: immigration isn't just Europe's issue, it's everyone's. As Europe grapples with integration, economic growth, and political unity, we're all watching closely, because in an interconnected world, these challenges ripple far beyond Europe's borders. If you enjoyed this deep dive and found it insightful, subscribe and stick around. The global conversation is happening right here, and we'd love you to be a part of it.